Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Cop Council. How are we all? Hopefully, all of you are having a fantastic day from wherever you are around the world. And as you can tell by the thumbnail and the title, we are going to be taking a look at a Liverpool potential signing. And of course, it is a return of this series that, of course, we do take an in depth look at certain individual players that are currently being linked with Liverpool Football Club. And, of course, today we're going to be talking about one of Chelsea's main stars and has been a main star for quite some time now, and that is Mason Mount. Of course, has been linked with Liverpool over the last couple of weeks and months, but of course, more and more headlines are coming out about Liverpool being interested, and realistically, of course, the rumours there, and there is strong rumours. There's got to be a bit of truth behind it as well. So we're going to take a little bit of a look at Mason Mount in today's episode as well. And let me know your guys' thoughts as well on everything that we mentioned in today's episode. And of course, if there is any other players that you would like me to take a look at as well, then do leave them in the comment section down below anyway. But we will move on. And of course, we'll speak about what is mainly Liverpool being seriously interested. Of course, this is Bobby Vincent as well. I believe he's a reporter for a London or Chelsea-based site saying that exclusive. You understand Liverpool are seriously interested in Mason Mount this summer as talks over his Chelsea contract continue to stall. Both Manchester clubs have shown interest, but Liverpool, I am told, is a serious possibility, and that's mainly been everything. Like all the major conversations and all the major speculation around Mason Mount has been practically that Liverpool are interested in bringing him into the team. Jurgen Klopp is a huge fan and would like to work with Mason Mount, which, of course, for me and I think many of you guys, I think this will divide a little bit, divide people in terms of who wants him and who doesn't want him. I think that obviously over the last couple of seasons he's been Chelsea's best player. I think when I was speaking to a few Chelsea supporters, and they were saying that look, through the Frank Lampard era and then the Thomas Tuchel era, Mason Mount was the guy for us. It seems to be over the last 12 to 16 months, things haven't quite worked or clicked with Mason Mount in the team. And at the moment, of course, in the current Chelsea setup, he's not realistically a starter at the moment for Chelsea. Just judging for the last couple of games, he hasn't realistically started. He's been coming off the bench and so on. And that's been what's been spoken about a lot around with Mason Mount in terms of, again, it looks like Chelsea are moving more ahead, I should say, in terms of bringing in players to play in the roles that Mason Mount plays. Of course, and we're going to have a little bit of an in-depth look at what Liverpool could do with Mason Mount in the team in a brief moment. But it does awfully feel like, again, with him having 1 year left on his deal in the summer, it does awfully think that again he wants to move, and Chelsea again would want to cash in on him. And of course, with the news as well from the Times as well saying that Chelsea, face fire sale of players to meet FFP rules. Of course, I think in the last year they've made a loss. I think of around 120 million pounds. I think, or just judging. From the read, but and that's the thing with Mason Mount having 1 year left on his deal, it would make sense for Chelsea to sell now. And it's been quite clear for the last couple of weeks and months that if they cannot agree a new deal with Mason Mount, he will be sold on, and they will try and get some funds for him. And again, this whole transfer scenario with Mason Mount, it does generally makes me remember Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain situation at Arsenal, where again quite similar, where Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain was Arsenal through and through. Similar with Mason Mount, as he has become, Chelsea through and through. He's been at the club, I believe, since 9 years of age, and so on. And again, it's rare, I think, for a player like that to leave a club. We've known players like Carragher and Gerrard, for example, who stayed the entirety of their career in more recent times at Liverpool. Even Trent, even now, in the first team, but it does go to think and make you think that what does Mason Mount want, and I think that is to play under a manager that again, he'll want to fight for, which of course that's perfect for Jurgen Klopp, but still be at that top level of football. And again, of course, we'll speak about it and have a look at it a bit more in depth. But of course, I think under Jurgen Klopp, I think you probably would massively get the best out of Mason Mount in a Liverpool team anyway. But we're going to take a quick look anyway at, of course, Mason Mount just this season as well. If you guys want to check out Sofa Score as well to check it out for yourselves, you can do so as well in the comments. Obviously, on Sofa Score as well. You look at it mainly this season as well on the left hand side. You've been playing mainly on the left for Chelsea this season, of course, due to the heat map as well. Of course, started 20 games this season in the league, scoring 3 goals. I think he has 2 assists this season as well. Yeah, as you can see down there as well. But even last season, I think if we quickly scroll back up, where he was more playing on that right hand side for Chelsea. Again, if we take a quick look at it, again, the majority of it on that right hand side for Chelsea, and through the middle as well, but just in general, the final third area it seems to be where Mason Mount plays at his best for Chelsea, and of course that's, and of course looking at this heat map, it is under Thomas Tuchel, not Graham Potter. But just in general, you look at it again, 27 starts last season, I believe 11 goals and 10 assists last year, which was his best output season for Chelsea as well. So again, it does beg into question, even when we look down again, 10 assists last season, again 10 big chances created as well for Mason Mount. Accuracy pass per game, he's making around 85% passes per game. But that's the big thing for me when we talk about Mason Mount. We talk about his numbers. Is it does seem very much in the final third is where he is at his best, and that's the thing for me where it's a little bit of concern with Liverpool, where with Chelsea, he plays mainly as, if it is a 3-4-3, he plays as a right forward, he plays as a left forward, and can play as a number 10. Of course, he has a very versatile background in terms of, he can play in an 8, can play as a 10, can play on the wing as well. And like I said, it does awfully remind me of Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain when he was at Arsenal, and of course, Ox was playing everywhere at Arsenal. Of course, I think Ox, he played centre mid, played right wing, played right back as well for a few games. I say even a few games. I think even half a season, wasn't it, chat? That again, he could play right back for Arsenal. Of course, hopefully Mason Mount won't be playing that for Liverpool anyway. But again, when we talk about the midfield and we talk about what Mason Mount could bring towards a Liverpool team in particular, I think it is a lot that he could bring, and it's a different dimension to what Liverpool already have at the moment. And we're going to take a quick look at it anyway. But this is for me what Liverpool could do, as well as you can see on the right hand side, of course, Mason Mount playing on the right of a middle three. But I think what's also interesting with Mason Mount is it gives you that versatility to change in game. Of course, as we can see, he could operate in that 10 position, and then obviously then you have the likes of Fabinho that could move but there, and Thiago a bit deeper to allow then that front four to gel and work together. I think that offers you something in that regard. But even with as sticking to that 3 and using him more as a little bit more advanced advanced 8 as what we saw Ox in 17-18, when you have then the 2 defenders or defensive midfielders in terms of Thiago and Fabinho, or even if it was Jordan Henderson and Fabinho, that would allow Mason Mount then to break forward and to break teams down. That for me is an interesting side of things as well. And of course, Mason Mount could even move onto the wing, to move Mo a little bit more inwards. So you could even see like something like that, potentially with Mo coming more inside. Obviously with Darwin there as well. But for me, I think the big plus with Mason Mount is the fact that he could move into that 10 position, and then you have that front four then of it could be Mo, Darwin, Luis Diaz, Cody Gakpo, Diogo Jota, for example, as well. So it offers you very much versatility, and it does offer you, in my opinion, I think a couple of dimensions of where Liverpool could potentially change in game. in my opinion, in terms of, again, we could start with a 4-3-3 and then potentially go to a 4-2-3-1, or even you change a few things. And again, if Salah has to go off, Mason Mount can go on the right to bring on a midfielder in that regard as well. And I think that's a different dimension to what Liverpool have at the moment as well. And again, with him only being 24. Again, he has probably 3 years until he's in his prime, mainly. So again, still plenty of years to get to his best at the moment. And again, if Liverpool can get last what he did for Chelsea last season out of him, which I think Jurgen Klopp would be able to do, again, you have a very good quality player there as well. But for me, the major problem I have at the moment in terms of Liverpool going after Mason Mount is Chelsea themselves. Is because for me, we've seen how Chelsea have been in the transfer market. We've seen how good they've been at splashing the cash. We haven't yet seen how they are at selling players and selling their assets. And of course, we've spoken about Liverpool potentially overpricing players. Similar like Nat Phillips, for example, where we've wanted 20-25 million, where teams have been like more around 10-15 million for him. I feel like this is a big problem with Mason Mount, with him being 1 year left in his deal. English, obviously Chelsea Football Club, they're going to be asking, I think, maybe around 50 million for him. Now, in my opinion, for a player that's 1 year left on his deal and looking at Mason Mount, I think 35 to 40 would be the max on him, but I can see Chelsea asking somewhere around 50 million, 50, 55 million for Mason Mount if they can't get that new contract in, of course, because again, we know Mason Mount has signed with a new agency to figure out what is best for his career moving forward as well, which again could all this could just mean that he might sign a new deal at Chelsea and get the best possible outcome there. But just judging from what has already been said outside of Chelsea, and just Chelsea fans themselves to generally think that he is going to be going at the end of the season, I think it is a likely outcome that he will leave Chelsea. For me, obviously Liverpool are supposedly the favourites to sign him. I think there is one club now that I think is going to be going for him, and that is Bayern Munich. Now that Thomas Tuchel is now at Bayern Munich, I think that him in particular, would love Mason Mount to go to Bayern. And I think Bayern would love him as well. The problem is, are Bayern willing to splash that cash on Mason Mount? I'm not particularly sure. I'm not sure who would, realistically, but I think 35 to 40 million pounds would be the perfect price for Mason Mount. But of course, does that fall in Liverpool summer? I'm not entirely sure anyway. But guys, let me know your thoughts and your opinions on Mason Mount in general, because I think, again, it is a very controversial topic. I think obviously people will love Mason Mount. Some people will not want Mason Mount at all at the club. So I think, again, for me, I'm in literally in the middle of it. I can see why Liverpool would want to go for him, but I also could see why they wouldn't want him, and why Liverpool shouldn't go near him in that regard as well. Anyway, but again, let me know your guys' thoughts in the comment section down below. Let me know, would you want Mason Mount? Would you not want Mason Mount? I think it'll be very interesting to know your guys' thoughts in the comments down below. Anyway, but if you liked the of course, potential signings video. Of course, we do have a lot of videos planned ahead as well. So again, if you like this, if you like us talking about specific players as well, let me know your guys' thoughts. Let me know certain players you'd like us to look at, as well as Liverpool potential signings as well. And hey, we might do a Jude Bellingham one as well anyway. But if anyone is new around here as well, please don't forget to hit that like button. Please don't forget to hit that subscribe button as well. And yeah, if you could, it'd be very much appreciated as always. Anyway, guys, but until then, that was going to be it from me. I've been Connor from the Dicord Council. I'll see you all next time. Ta-ra.